Now here's another interesting sign, and it reads, "This fence cost Stirling-Rawdon taxpayers $48,753. Can you imagine that, folks? After going through all this misery in the pandemic and all the economic havoc it has created, somehow this little township has found almost 50 grand to spend on a fence to further make people's lives miserable. Unbelievable. I think there's enough space between those two fence posts there for me to squeeze through, and I'll continue walking looking for hopefully a hole to get into the water. David Menzies for Rebel News here in front of Harold Quarry, just north of Stirling, Ontario. Well, folks, I can tell you what an incredible July summer day it is here in this region. It's like 33 degrees in the shade. It's so hot, I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking. Hey, enough with the bad jokes, but I'll tell you something that's really not funny. For almost a century, this waterhole in the quarry has served as a place of recreation for people in this community. People would go here to swim, they'd go here to get drinking water, they'd go here to get water for other needs. And then just a few weeks ago, this fence surrounded the quarry, a fence, I should point out, that is topped with barbed wire, and suddenly no one is allowed here. There's even trespassing signs and no parking signs. And what was once a cherished summer place to go to, and in winter too, when the water would freeze, it was a place where people would skate. Well, it's off limits. And the reason is safety. Evidently, the insurer for the town said that there were serious potential liability issues with this swimming hole at the quarry. Now, I'm not sure if they're worried about people drowning. I'm not sure if this is a COVID thing. But nevertheless, the mayor and the council, who I've reached out to, by the way, and they haven't returned my email, the town said, okay, we'll wall it off with an almost $50,000 expenditure so that on a hot summer day like this, nobody can go swimming. Now, recently, about 50 people violated the rule. The Ontario Provincial Police came. They didn't lay any charges, but they had a talking to the people violating this no swimming rule. And it is just inexplicable, folks. I mean, a playground has potential serious liability issues. Should municipalities all across our great dominion tear down the swings and the monkey bars and whatnot so that nobody gets a sprained ankle? Well, in any event, one of the things I want to find out is that last Monday, when those demonstrators / swimmers came by, how did they get into the quarry? I mean, this town is really serious. That is razor sharp barbed wire. So I'm just wondering how they got in. The fence, as you can see, it has 3 locks on it, so they're not fooling around. I'm going to walk around the perimeter and see if there's a hole in the fence, because you know what, folks, I brought my swimming trunks and I could sure go for a dip right now. Well, there's another fence here. So I'm going to try the other way around, walking along the highway. As you can see, this is where people would park, but that's off the charts too, because they've got a new gate here, and naturally the gate is locked. Wow, talk about a no fun zone, eh? De rigueur, no trespassing signs. Now this is interesting. Here is a sign and it reads, "Water is a human right." Well, you know what? I would agree with that. Without water, we cannot survive. And to fence off this water like this, what a travesty. Now this is interesting. I see another layer of fencing here, which might suggest that this is where the original fencing was clipped open to let people get down the hill and into the quarry for some water recreation, but I don't know, I'll keep walking. Now here's another interesting sign, and it reads, "This fence cost Stirling-Rawdon taxpayers $48,753. Can you imagine that, folks? After going through all this misery in the pandemic and all the economic havoc it has created, somehow this little township has found almost 50 grand to spend on a fence to further make people's lives miserable. Unbelievable. I think there's enough space in between those two fence posts there for me to squeeze through, and I'll continue walking looking for hopefully a hole to get into the water. Whoa. All right. See, there's a detached sign here. It says no diving or jumping shallow water. Really is a no fun zone here. Wow, I just don't see any access to the water. I'm having deja vu all over again. Do you remember, folks, last summer when we went to Coburg? And do you remember how the town council there desecrated their beautiful beach? Here, check out this footage from last summer.
Hey, how does freedom feel like?
Oh, I love it. I love it. The water's beautiful.
You know what? Oh my God. What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest for?
Stand back. Stand back.
Freedom's got to go full tilt. If I shouldn't be getting arrested for this, I shouldn't be having to be stopped by a police officer and put in handcuffs.
Hi, Councillor Beattie. How you doing?
I'm not commenting.
Oh no! Don't you think this is a great day that people are reclaiming the beach?
Cheers.
Why is the eastern beach closed off, Councillor, and not the western one?
If you want to have an official comment, you can contact the mayor's office or communications manager Ashley Purdy, and we'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
But you're a councillor, right?
I was just out as a citizen today, enjoying my time with my partner, and I have no comment at this time.
But you did vote for the beach to be closed, correct?
Everything is on the record. The majority of council with recorded votes recorded for the pier to be closed.
Okay.
And
I think that's a yes. So, and it's still August 31st. That's the entire summer, isn't it, Councillor?
I'm declining comment.
Okay. Well, why would you decline comment? I mean, we have a democracy here. You've enacted your rights as council to take away the beach from the citizens here. Why won't you talk about that?
Cheers, guys. Have a nice day.
I stood.
Oh, sorry, Councillor. I couldn't hear you. Oh, by the way, that fence, it's back up in Coburg right now for this summer too. Coburg Town Council, they are truly the Grinches who stole summertime. Well, folks, we did talk to a local farmer that pulled off from the highway and spoke about this outrage. He was furious. He didn't want to come on camera in case of any repercussions. However, he told us a couple of interesting things. One is, one of the ways in which people are getting into the water is not over the fence, but if you're of a certain body type, i.e. thin, you can roll under the fence, and sure enough, my cameraman Mocha, who can be confused with Skinny Minnie on certain days, he just went right under, no problem. It would be a problem for me, I'm afraid, long winter and all. But the other way over, as the farmer pointed out, and this is what the swim-in demonstrators did, they brought ladders and they brought blankets, and you just climb up, throw a blanket over the barbed wire, and Bob's your uncle, you're into the water. And the farmer, who has lived many years here, told me there's never been a problem with this pool. It's been used for decades. You can actually fish in it. There's an Amish community that is nearby. They come here for fishing. And the other thing is, What kind of injuries, what kind of fatalities have happened in the 70, or I should say 90 odd years in which this quarry has been established as a water recreation? Well, to his knowledge, about 5 years ago, there was one person, she committed suicide in this quarry. But as you know, folks, if it's a suicide, that's an intentional death. It wasn't somebody out for a swim who drowned. So I don't even think that should count. The other thing he pointed out, the fence is locked with 3 locks. The entrance to the parking lot is locked. And he noted that the fire department needs to get water from this quarry. Now, when it's an emergency, every second counts. So now the fire truck has to pull in, unlock the park gate, then pull up here, unlock the 3 locks, and then drive down to get the water. That is outrageous. That, to me, is far more of a public safety hazard than letting people swim on a hot summer day. But the COVID Karens here, well, that's how they roll. In any event, we're going to come back here in the days ahead. There is another swim-in demonstration planned. I'm sure those people won't be camera shy when it comes to venting about their beloved waterhole/pool being shut off. In the meantime, I'd like to reach out to Mayor Mullen and to paraphrase one of Ronald Reagan's greatest lines ever. Mayor Mullen, tear down this wall. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, you know Rebel News, we haven't cut back our reporting like the mainstream media. We are getting out into the field more so every day, every week, every month, but we need your help. If you can, please go to rebelfieldreports.com. Make a donation so that we can continue to bring you the other side of the story.